Hi, I'm Steve Sample with Bama Talk. Don't miss a single episode of Bama Talk Show, available now on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast app, and on the web at bigbrainsmedia.com.
This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, January the 11th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. And quickly, let's go to a report and a picture sent in by Hayes Jackson from Calhoun County. We did get some hail across central Alabama, most of it below severe limits, but as you can see, I think his qualifies for 1 inch, quarter being 1 inch, and I'm wondering if Hayes has been to my storm spotter training, because one of the things I suggest to storm spotters is that you have some coins to show the size of hail, and that's an excellent way of doing that. Radar this morning showing that the line of showers and thunderstorms is moving through the east central part of the state and the south central part of the state, and a few warnings have been issued over in Georgia for some severe thunderstorms, and there's been a couple of tornado warnings issued for North Georgia. Trussville Skycam this morning showing the roads are wet out there, the rain gradually clearing from the west, and I think we should see some sun by late this afternoon. The roads still wet at Jasper as well, but the rain pretty much over at Jasper, it looks like. Many areas getting as much as 2 inches of rain for the area. The front that's responsible for this wet weather is moving through the state and should be pretty much clearing the southeast corner of the state by early afternoon. It should clear the east coast by this evening. In the upper atmosphere, there's a fairly substantial long wave trough position over the eastern half of the country, and we're getting a series of waves that are moving through that, helping to reinforce that long wave trough position. So we're going to see some colder air yet. This air not particularly cold. You have to say particularly because you don't see any minus numbers, so temperature is a little bit nicer than we've seen over the last week or so. Across central Alabama, fog, rain going on with some thunder still being heard. Temperatures generally in the lower 60s. That's probably going to be our high for the day. The overall regional radar from the Southeast Radar Loop and showing most of that rain clearing the western sections of Alabama this morning, and it will be clearing the southeast corner by later this afternoon. The watch warning map is a hodgepodge of things going on. The green areas, by the way, are flood advisories for this heavy rain in central Alabama moving through the area for the possibility of minor flooding as a result of the heavy rains. The pink area in New England for parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and New York is related to freezing rain advisory, and the green is for flash flood watches. And then much of the northwestern U.S. is under high wind warnings. That's the kind of golden area, and then some of those pink and purple areas and reddish areas are winter weather advisories, winter weather warnings. Some of the higher elevations potentially getting 3 to 6 feet of snow. QPF-wise, most of the rain will occur this morning, but we do have another shot of rain coming, and that shot coming Monday primarily and into very early Tuesday, and that shot of rain could give us on the order of, probably a half to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a slight risk for the extreme southeast corner of Alabama for a good portion of the southern 75% of Georgia and parts of the Carolinas and a little bit of North Florida. And day 2, that'll be Sunday. We don't have any organized severe thunderstorms forecast. And then day 3, which is Monday, those storms along the Gulf Coast are potential for some severe weather producers, but there's no expected organized severe weather at the moment. All right, let's get to modeling this morning. This is the 06E GFS model run, and here comes the trough sharpening up as it moves across Alabama and moves across the Mississippi River Valley. And that will help to usher in some colder air. You see the 540 line coming down to the vicinity of Columbus, Mississippi, and but the rain moving on out of here. And we should see a little sun by this afternoon. I'm not sure that we'll see clear skies, but certainly get some sun. That short wave moves its way over off the Atlantic coast quickly, but another one is digging in. So we have kind of a weak ridge momentarily for Sunday. That should make the day very nice. I think highs will be mainly in the upper 50s, a little cooler to start the day with lows in the 30s, and you can see the thicknesses, the surface high settling in over the southeastern U.S., so Sunday will be a beautiful day. But there's a continuous wave of these things, a continuous parade of these things. Here comes another one on Monday, approaching the Mississippi River Valley, and that will be helping to create a little bit of a disturbance. The GFS not suggesting a very well-developed low in the Gulf, but certainly bringing some precipitation up this way. That one moves to the mid-Atlantic coast quickly, but another one is dropping in on Tuesday. This one's going to have a little trouble to bring any precipitation because this one's likely to be pretty dry, and I think Tuesday will be a coolish day. It may be one of those days where we just simply don't climb very much. By Wednesday, that second one has dug in and amplified quite a bit, and so you see the 540 line plunging all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So Wednesday could be one of those days where we don't even get out of the 30s. But right now, I've got a forecast for the lower 40s for the high, but it may be one of those days where the temperature stays steady or falls. The next one in the series is approaching on Thursday, but once again, it's not likely to have much moisture with it. It digs in on Friday, but again, lack of moisture, some clouds possibly, but I don't think we'll see anything in the way of any significant precipitation. But as you can see from the 540 line, it stays coolish. So a real roller coaster when it comes to the temperatures. And then for Saturday, a week from today, the pattern is beginning to just dampen a little. The overall long wave trough position still over the eastern half of the country. That is keeping things cool, but not especially extremely cold, and we're coming a bit under a ridge. Now, looking out into voodoo country, things stay pretty active. We do note that by the 10th or so of January, that the pattern is a little de-amplified. It's not quite as strong. There's not as much amplitude to the trough over the eastern half of the country, but the long wave trough is still there. The position is still there, just not quite as strong. And then when we get out to the end of the period, the GFS suggesting the long wave trough sharpens back up again with that vorticity center that you see over the Great Lakes, but also suggesting a little mischief as we see something coming across Texas. And while that is not generating anything in the way of a serious winter weather threat, that certainly could bring a winter weather threat. But you know how voodoo is. It can flip and it can flop and it can change. So we'll watch and see how it goes, and kind of the evolution of these things is always interesting. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. I expect to have the next one posted by 8 a.m. or so on Sunday morning. In the meantime, I hope you have a great Saturday. Stay dry, and Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.